Hey there, good afternoon my friends, and welcome to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph, I am the host of this show. So this is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here with this week, and I'm going to have to tell you this is take two. I completely recorded the entire video, was about to upload it when I realized I completely missed Wednesday Night Favorites. Yeah, some people have questioned my memory, and I'm not about to challenge them at this point in time. So anyways, for those of you who are new to this channel and do not know what I'm talking about, I do a show every week on Sunday at noon called This Week. This is episode number 42, which will take us from April the 30th till May the 6th. And basically what I do on that is I just talk, on this particular show, is I just talk about my shows that I'm doing, what's up and coming on those shows, the content, really. And then some of the stuff that may be coming up in future weeks or future months. And I've got all my notes here, but for some reason I missed one. So for those of you who like this, it's been going on for about 40 weeks or 42 weeks now. I do this every week. It seems to be fairly well received. I get some people who like to look at it so that they can figure out what I'm doing and whether I should be bothered or they may not want to be bothered. You know, I do this on purpose so that people have a chance to really see what is going to be happening so that they can choose. You know, because not everybody likes everything. You know, and some people like everything, some people don't like anything really. But anyways, so that's what this episode is about. Okay, so to get off and underway, the first episode, other than this one, the one that will come out next, is my album hauls for the month of April. That's a show in which we talk about what I've purchased over the course of the month of April, which in this case, usually is on this shelf, but they're already stacked to go here, so I'll be doing that episode next after this one. And I hope you will come for that to see what I've got that's new that I might be using in some of my upcoming videos. You know, maybe there might be something new you haven't listened to. And often I give a little bit of a critique about each of the albums as I see them. Some of them I haven't listened to, some I have, some I've owned before and have listened to a lot. It's a lot of different stuff. So anyways, I hope you'll show up for that one. So the next episode I normally do is called Ben's Album Challenge, which comes out on Sunday night at 8 p.m. And Ben always gives me something really interesting, usually something I've never heard before. And sometimes it's very surprisingly good. Sometimes I'm life and death to get through it. But that's the way in which this works. You know, this particular episode is just to gauge my kind of feelings about this new music, right? So kind of a raw feeling about how I like it. And, you know, there may be people who like the same things as me that can gauge that same thing, you know. So that's to me what Ben's Album Challenge is about. For this week, he has given me a group called Person, spelled P-U-R-S-O-N. And the album is called Circle and the Blue Door. I know nothing about this. I've never heard of it before. This is a completely new experience for me, and I'll be listening to that after I'm done here today to get ready for the video tonight. So the next video that usually comes up is on Monday nights, my look back at a classic rock album. This Monday night will be featuring a band that, I'll just show you. It's Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Howe. You know, if you put Squire in there, they would call this Yes. It should have been a Yes album. It definitely qualifies and sounds like Yes in every single way that you can think of, except for Chris Squire is not on this album. And if I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected, but I believe it's Tony Levin that is the bass player here, or perhaps Steve Howe's playing the bass on this. As you see, they only give you this. That's it. That's all I got. It doesn't give me in. It doesn't even tell me who's on the album. But I owned this album in cassette at one time, and have listened to it on this disc as soon as I got it. And I think it's going to be a good choice for I look back at a classic rock album, which for those of you who don't know is any album over 15 years that I consider to be at least a 2 and above. And this definitely qualifies for that. So Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman and Howe self-titled album, which probably should have been a Yes album. Okay, next up is the one that I missed in the first video, so I don't want to miss it again. So it's my Wednesday night favorites. This week we're going to do a part B, or a part 2, probably part 2. 10 bands we love who should have been bigger. I did part A, I don't know how long ago it was, maybe a month ago, might be longer, I'm not sure. But I think there's at least enough bands out there that definitely qualified to be on this again. And I wanted to give some more attention to this group of bands because, to be honest with you, a lot of these bands are among my favorite bands, and they just never quite reach that tier 1 or iconic tier or home run tier, whatever you want to call it. They never quite reached that heights, and they probably should have, but we're going to discuss them and perhaps the reasons why they didn't quite make it and why I think they should be there. Okay, so then, now I got it in. I didn't forget it this time. So the next episode out is called The Psychedelic Snack, which alternates with my live experience. So live experience was last week. It's psychedelic snack time. And for this week, we're doing this album, In the Hearing Of, by Atomic Rooster. I just wanted to do this album. I just absolutely adore this album. It's number 1 on my playlist right now. It's been up there the longest, and I can't take it out. It's just too good. So we're going to be doing that, or at least I'm not going to be. Brother Murph won't be here this weekend. He's called in pinch hitter Squiggy Squigmeyer and his sidekick Stan, which will show up to do the video. And I hope you guys won't overly take this too seriously. It's not meant to be. It's what I call my psychedelic snack, my break from the seriousness. So that will come out on the Saturday morning, or actually Saturday afternoon around maybe 1:30 or 2. I like to do it a little bit later on Saturdays. I've already talked to you about the album hauls for the month. So then I'm just going to talk a little bit about the left of the series. So if you've tuned in this morning, you saw the episode 30 and the final 2 dynamic duos for the month of April. And today at around 6 o'clock will also come out the honorable mentions, which is just a few more that I think could have been on there, and for some reason they weren't, but they still need to be mentioned. Okay, so that will be the end of that series. My next series will probably be in September. Ben has given me an idea which I really like. I really like this idea, which is to choose 5 songs per year and talk about what are my favorite 5 songs of that year. And that sounds like it'd be pretty easy, but I'm sure there's some years out there where there's going to be like 50 or 60 songs or more, and I got to narrow it down to 5, so that might not be as easy as it sounds. I don't think I'll be doing many honorable mentions, maybe a little bit at the end of each episode, just to keep it going. I'm not sure what year I'm going to start with this. I'm thinking I'm just going to go with 1970 upwards, so it'll be from 1970 through to 2023. So that's 43 episodes. So that may, no matter how you work it or how many years I choose, it's probably going to run at least a month and a half. So I will probably only do a series for either September, October, or October, November. I'm not sure how it's going to work. But it's one that I liked immediately when he brought it up, and I thought, you know what, let's give this a run. This will be a little bit different. But that won't happen until September. There'll be no series during the summer months, as I'm quite busy. And I have a couple of things I want to do for my Rock Legends. Okay, speaking of which, Rock Legends, we have two-part AC/DC Rock Legends. One will be probably mid-month for May, and the other one will be at the end of the month for May. And it's basically just to honor AC/DC's 50th anniversary. Talk about the members of the band early on and their albums with Bon Scott and all that, and then maybe the second part will be the Brian Johnson era and all the stuff they've done since then, and living in an iconic status at that point in time too. So we'll talk about the two. This is a band that is well deserving of their iconic status, much loved band by so many people, myself included. And they deserve all the accolades that I'm going to try and throw at them in this two-parter. The other band will be for the Rock Legends, will probably come out in July, because I'm going to be out of town parts of June and won't be around to be doing probably any videos for about a week or so. But in July we're going, and I debated this one because I really don't like all the mudslinging and stuff that goes on between the band members and their history and the stuff they've done, and it's just endless. You just wish you didn't know this stuff, but you do. But at the same time, this is a band that launched all this stuff for me and brought this all to fruition, and they were iconic as hell. They were one of the best, if not the best, live band ever. Some great albums, some great music, some legendary performances, and some of the most iconic band members too. But I was debating it, but I can't see how I can't do it, so I'm going to do it. And of course, we're all talking about Kiss here. So no, it's not going to be any kind of big surprise here that's who we're talking about. This was the band that started it all for me, and at the time, from the time I was about 11, 12 till I was probably 14, 15, they could do no wrong. Every square inch of my bedroom was covered with posters. Couldn't even see the ceiling. I had them posted there too. And definitely a band that I loved deeply. And back in those days, they were either loved or hated. And you know what? Now they're even more loved and even more hated. But they just don't seem to be able to get along with each other. But I'm going to try to ignore the mudslinging for a change. If you want mudslinging, you'll have to go elsewhere for it. I'm going to talk about the music and the group as a whole. Okay. Having done that, said those two things, we'll be doing some What's News videos. I'm going to try. I had four bands left and 4 albums left on the original list that I made. Oh wow, it's back there now. That was supposed to go till the middle of February, and I just have never gotten around to doing them. But I'm going to finish those 4, and then I'm going to start moving forward into some of the more immediate stuff that's been going on. And I do apologize for the slowness of this, but some of the series and stuff take up a lot of time, and so couldn't get around to it all. But we will attempt to do that. And as for anything new, the 2 new shows. We have 2 new shows that will start sometime probably mid-May. One of them is going to be called Metal, and as you might guess, it's going to be about heavy metal. And so what I'm going to do for that show is, first of all, I'm going to choose a newer metal band from the last 10 years and then alternate that with a band that's older than 10 years every second episode. So we'll have 1 new episode and then 1 old episode. And that will encompass basically the band, talk a little bit about the band's discography, about the band's members, about how they are doing as far as their popularity, as far as how their fan base sees them, how people view them, just a little bit about them. This will be, and the reason I say a little bit is because a lot of these bands, especially the new ones, I will not have a great deal of history with. But I chose to do this show because I want to become more openly active with the metal community. Mostly for myself, because I used to be a big metal fan. But once I got away from it, I just never went back to it. And I think it's because of my hearing. But My hearing hasn't bothered me for years, so it's time to give it a chance again, and this will be a way of doing that. And so we'll do that show, and that show will alternate with another show. So this will come out on a Thursday night. We'll do metal one week, and the next following Thursday we will do the other show, which is going to be called the Forward Champion. And what that really means is that I will choose 2 albums from any genre, rock genre. We're not doing Nat King Cole or anything here. Okay, so any rock genre, I will choose 2 albums that I think are good, and the viewers will have 2 weeks till the next Forward Champion episode to choose which album they like the best. The winner between those 2 albums will become the Forward Champion, and they will face a new challenger. And if any of them that get through 5 of these episodes, where they end up champion each episode, will then be retired to the Hall of Fame if you want, and then we'll start again. And then when we get enough of these, probably at the end of the year, if we have 2 or 3 that were able to succeedly get 5 episodes under their belt, I will have them all on one big episode, and we will all vote for the grand champion. So that they'll have 2 weeks to vote, the same as always. So I just think this will create some interest between all the different genres, and it's kind of a way of doing battles of the band that puts the dice in your hands and not in mine. And I just think that works better. I think it's more crowd opportunity here for people, because people like nothing better than vote for the albums and stuff that they like. I know I do. I used to phone that Q107 all the time when they would have Battle of the Bands to try and oust somebody I couldn't stand. So anyways, I hope that'll be of interest. So those will start, I'm thinking probably mid-May I will start with the first one of those, and they will alternate every Thursday night. So one Thursday it'll be the metal, the next Thursday it'll be Forward Champion. Kind of the same as it is with the Psychedelic Snack on Saturday, followed by the live experience on Saturday. So that's it. I can't think of anything else that I didn't miss this time. And look at the video is almost the same length as the first one, so hopefully I won't screw it up again. Anyways, I hope you liked this episode. If you did, please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. And we will see you later with the album hauls. So take care. Bye.